to see a raise in there, but I think this comp has a lot of merit, guys.
Yeah, like you said, no dive in there, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually get in on these sites, but the amount of pressure that they could pull with this comp is going to be insane.
Yeah, and now that they're no longer running the breach, maybe a little bit more value can be pulled out of Moose on this Killjoy. No Aftershocks to get rid of his ults. Another nice piece to add to the already potent retake of that double initiator plus Omen that Luminosity is rocking with. In this half, I'm really looking towards B-Dog. See what value he can find. A slow start on Split, but he picked things up big time towards the end of this map. The default here for OpTic is just about using those initiators to find as much space towards main control on both sides as possible, and then they're going to pinch back towards mid. Looks like they want to set up for a split towards A, but a heavy mid play ready for Luminosity.
Oh, that paranoia. It's going to be a triple push with it alongside the cat push. What a combo. It works out for 3.
Oh, but look at FNS. He's still top mid. If he can take down Dazzle and trade it, he resets this to a 2v2, and look where Ye has gotten. This man snuck all the way around, but the question is, will it even matter? Because now Luminosity has to be suspicious of this extremity. Spike is down in mid, but they'll concede it for now, instead electing to re-clear in towards the tree room as OpTic will pinch top mid and from space in towards mid connector.
Massive, massive, massive here that Ye. Clearing out that spawn side. It's going to allow FNS to combo with them, but LG have already ran.
Yeah, and this could go against them. They're trying to re-wrap in through main, but look what's still there. The chamber trademark. That never got contended with for LG, so this play is going to be noted. OpTic will see that space top mid, and now they'll just elect to flank all the way back towards B. Bit of miscommunication there. Player swings too wide. They were trying to smoke off the trip, but doesn't happen now. Completely free sight here towards B, and FNS looks like he wants to get aggressive in the post. Good call. They have the C's available. Ye will have his rendezvous online soon as well.
All right, let's see it. If they even have an inkling that FNS is going to be in the position that he's in, but Ye. Hopefully he can get a contact to potentially feint that the rest of this team are staying in the back of spawn, but FNS just straight up goes for the contact, jiggle peek. B-Dog spots him, but doesn't go for the kill, but now this just becomes so awkward. Oh!
No way.
FNS goes out and he does take him down, 5 HP. Can he somehow slip through with this round? B-Dog has 100 HP, but still, the Haunt, ready and raring to go, looking for some info. B-Dog looking to pop and gets the body shot he needed and nails the round.
Almost a fumble there from LG. The reflank through a main information is given. OpTic have a sight, but unfortunately, Ye misses out on the critical shot. He kills the player in towards market early there. Can support FNS towards the spawn side. The whole world more winnable. Great value, though, out of B-Dog. Off of getting that spike plant down, I see a hero rifle coming out. Someone bought a rifle over for Ye, which means he'll have full armor and a Vandal coming into this round.
Exactly that. We're just desperate for plan at least for positioning, if not, of course, the win. But are we actually going to get that hero rifle in?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
we are. Yay, on the front side. Of course, he's the one with the Vandal, but look at everyone else. It's just a straight-up force meme.
Yeah, shout out to Victor, sacrificing his money to yet let Ye have his moment. He'll fight forward here. Vandal, I'm not sure if it's been heard just yet. The utility here is great, but B-Dog gets to be cleared up top that angle. Ye wants a fight. He doesn't have a rendezvous here, and he's just not looking. 2,900 credits down the drain. Unlucky for Victor's investment.
Victor. Potentially try to pick up that SMG just a little bit later, but it's all the way in no man's land. LG. Still waiting for that cat approach, but this is honestly a bit better. Victor, he goes all the way up with that classic. He clears out the util. Even if OpTic doesn't actually up to go in, LG needs to keep an eye on mid.
Good info from Mata. Realizes one is still towards main. He's worried now about catwalk, and no issue. Spray through the smoke. Thanks for the Vandal, OpTic.
Easy peasy there. They're going to be able to pick it up and actually fight with it? They're not actually trying. Oh my god, a second kill from Mata through the smoke. And B-Dog, of course, collecting the rest. And Dazzle just gets the kill into Victor. Will they be able to find potentially that Vandal bag? No, it doesn't even matter, really. Second round for LG.
No. Yeah, they get the free guns. They keep their guns on through. This isn't even really a bonus round because the weapons are so good coming into it, even though they're not making a continued investment. OpTic likes occasionally committing to those force fight rounds. Normally it's pretty effective for them, but in that one, just a bit of a fumble. Ye goes too wide on an angle, takes the 50-50, loses it. There was enough utility to maybe clear that angle out, but it had been committed more for that early space in A main, so they don't do it. In fact, B-Dog should go back to that same angle up top the box in A.
Very early Nanoswarm. Trying to potentially catch a bit of a push.
Standing ahead.
Nothing ends up getting caught, but that's the only real signal that they're here. It's just that recon bolt. But Moose, he has a one-way to potentially catch a couple of body shots, but he goes down through his own smoke to Yay.
Uh-oh. Things get a little awkward now. Victor will grab that orb, so getting closer to that ult. The gun is on the floor, but I believe it was just a Spectre. Not the biggest of prizes. OpTic stays slow. They're trying to feel out if LG is planning to re-aggress in this, and they spot two players on site. I think they know that the Omen was here as well, or at least suspect that they'll double back. A-Take is the right call here. Haunt is in. Does that spot out B-Dog? Not yet.
No.
Deep angle here. If he just stays alive, waits for support from heaven, Dazzle's here, and the start will be online not soon enough to help.
Yeah. Oh, Dazzle, if he could yank away some of that attention, that's perfect. So here comes B-Dog. Can he clean up some of this? Indeed he can, but he doesn't watch out for the rest of A main. He walks right into a two-man crossfire. Victor takes him down. Oh, no! The nade drops down, and you can actually get that refrag from Mata, and indeed it happens. 1v1 now. Mata strikes down Crash. He's down to 65 HP, but he pulls out the sidearm, and a shot to the head gives OpTic their first round.
Oh, that was almost a tragedy, though, for OpTic. That molly missing from Victor, it bounces back. I don't know, it's looking like some Tony Hawk tricks or something, just going crazy back onto the site. If that had hit, Mata couldn't have swung. Would have been a much easier round, but thankfully for OpTic, they've got Crashies, and he's pretty good at the video game to be able to win that one out. Still, that was really just a bonus round for LG, so they're feeling good. They'll still have money in towards this one, and crucially, they'll have an operator up for B-Dog as well.
Yeah, just a little finger flip airwalk right in the middle of heaven. Just good stuff there. At least at the very end, but they still need to fight now with full rifles all the way over in mid. Look how much util is being spilled over here, but Luminosity is not going to be able to capitalize with any of this. They back out in B.
I love the use of the cats from OpTic thus far. Prowlering in towards A main pretty much every round. Prowling up mid in this one. So good to be able to follow that up, because also, unlike a Skydog, the agent that's using it isn't all the way back. Your fate is right there to help you. They can just let go and fight with their own Prowler. Really good use from OpTic. Lots of space garnered for them, and you see LG off that reaction, they have to play so passive. Their only forward position is in main here, though. Not on a tight angle. They will pop down the rendezvous, so can TP away if he makes contact. I think he suspects it. Hard clears the angle. Unlucky for Mata.
Very unlucky, and even more unlucky is actually that wide swing. Moose goes out at the perfect time, and he takes down Victor, but FNS is there for the trade. So much space here in A to try to capitalize on, and indeed they are going to be able to do so. Space has been taken, and they're still getting more frags. Yay on the front side, spots the head of one, but Tig does take back at least one.
Wasn't even the hit.
Yeah, well, it's a full fake, but look at this now. Marv is taking up that full control out of that backside, back mid side, and he ends up getting the kill. Tig, even if he wanted to try this one, it's just not going to work out. So well done from OpTic.
Yeah, really great mid-rounding out of them, and astute from Ye. I say unlucky, but really just out-skilled, I suppose. Tight angle there. You normally don't expect players to be tucked in there, and he expects it. Clears it on out, and off that, A site was wide open still. OpTic leave themselves options in the mid-round, and a big part of that is the amount of like regenerating info abilities that this triple initiator comp has. Yeah. If you can like stack those timings right, the game almost becomes like a mobile. We were talking about League of Legends earlier. It kind of becomes that, where it's kind of timing when each player on your team is using their time-based ability. You can throw out a Haunt in the early round. That'll be back in 45 seconds. You can throw a dart for Crashies. That could be in 45 seconds, and you also have that same ability the way of the knife for Victor. So if you're staggering these right, you can have an info ability up, like literally every 45 divided by 3. 15 seconds, something along those lines if you're doing it right. Not very good at math.
No, that was pretty good. It was pretty good. You got there at the end. I mean, I like the idea from OpTic out of the comp though, but again, they still are lacking in a couple of departments in terms of util. But it's again, when you have all that information, when you have so much time to do so throughout a map, yeah, OpTic's definitely going to take advantage of that. But again, we keep talking about those cheesy setups. OpTic aren't exactly doing that either. A lot of the util that they are using early on in the round is just to take away some information or take away some of the presence from Luminosity. OpTic's being very mobile.
Yeah, they really have been. Mid-rounding has been on point thus far in these last few rounds. For FNS, I like the fade roll for him. His breach, obviously, the main role he's been picking up as of late, but well rehearsed on this Fate, already given compliments to the Prowler usage. For LG, I think a lot of this is trying to get B-Dog ahead of that utility, because if you're playing back, if you're playing on the site, you're not going to find value. If you can have B-Dog forward, catch someone with util out, dash away, that's huge. Or alternatively, if you're so far back away that you wait for all the utility to run out and then instantly re-hit, that's kind of the other win condition to stop OpTic on these big set pieces. But it's really hard to get that timing right, because if you get stuck in the middle, well, hey, there's going to be a haunt in your face, there's going to be a dart in your face, you're going to get instantly revealed and likely just spammed away.
And it's not like Luminosity has at least a little bit of that potential, but it's only a little bit of that. Only a Sova on the other side, but here we go. We're already back. Already see a couple of lineups back over towards that A side, but look at this push mid.
Interesting to see Tig sticking with the operator in that one. He wanted to peek down mid. He was supporting for his players to run on up. This flank is really quick. They might find that optimal timing. FNS, utility in hand, gets taken on down, and the plant is coming through, but the flank is too.
It ends up working out for actually at least using that utility, at least throwing it out and potentially taking that cat. There's only one more player here, and it's Moose! Oh, he ends up going down finally. 2 players off the flank now. Has to be Ye to try to strike down, but it's not going to work out. B-Dog takes down 1, and here comes yet another pushback from A main. This smart push could just be the linchpin. They have no clue he's coming back. They have no clue he's here. Thing in front of him, and the spray connects on 2. B-Dog now the last one remaining in a 1v2 with only 22 HP, and Marv saves the round for OpTic.
Marv the savior, but it was Crashies to set it all up. That pushing towards the tree room, crucial. Takes down the players there, buys time, uses his darts to support. The reason that that Marv could afford to stay so slow was because his recon dart was pinging. He knows that B-Dog only just got on that spike, that it wasn't being stuck, and just perfectly timed to swing back on in. I liked the idea, though, from Luminosity. Leverage that operator for an agent other than your jet. Allow your jet to use that Bladestorm. Walk on up, try and garner space. The start was good, but OpTic again, quicker in these adaptations. Still, that was just an eco. LG out the money back in their favor.
There goes that early info again. Prowler coming out, at least spots one on that front side, but not actually able to do anything with it. They just take up that A control. There goes that big ulti here from FNS. It's gonna suppress everyone, but Mata actually somehow gets 2 kills out of that. They do end up clearing out 2 players from the middle of this site. No way. Crashies just continues to spray down and somehow gets a random kill over in heaven. 2 more players remaining now, though. B-Dog alongside Moose. That turret still being active gives Marv an idea that Moose is still there, and indeed he is. But still, look at this from B-Dog. Almost able to strike down on a second over in mid. Almost makes it possible for a 1v1, but instead, a 1v2 is on the docket.
Well, the fighting towards spawn here could be well timed. Spike is still working its way forward. The dart is there. B-Dog has been spotted. Smoke goes out, and safety has been reached. Marv look to play close around his wall. This one might just be unwinnable for B-Dog. I wonder if he just goes back, grabs off, and saves. No, he's committing into it.
That's
Confidence in this man is high.
This is good. That trademark's not active. B-Dog. He made a little bit of noise back over in mid, and I think Marv might have actually heard it. Might be a bit of a bait for his teammate. B-Dog. And very slowly, Crashies has that angle for him again. It's only 5 HP. Such low odds here for B-Dog. Just has to be so sharp somehow. Has no idea Crashies is here. Good off angle. Good work out for the frag. 4th round for OpTic.
Again, nice switch ups here in towards the late round. VC util that was crowning, though, was at Haunt. The one that Ghost Gaming is pretty much always running. Pops right up above and sees the entirety of sight. And that Nightfall as well coming through. So the Prowlers are chasing down the players, which means they can't see the Haunt up above. So you have no hearing. You're spotted out. You have no eyesight. I mean, at that point, what senses do you even have left? You're just in the void, trying to spray and hope you can get a kill on through.
Look at this over in mid, B-Dog. Position ready and raring to go for at least one of these peaks, but it's going to be the Owl Drone to try to clear him out. Not only that, but a lot of damage has been done. And in the end, he just gets taken out by Ye. Only one person still here over on B, though. He has a massive job to do. Dazzle with only a Spectre, trying to roll around, trying to actually just run back to his spawn. He's not looking for a single frag off of this take. He's just looking to run for the hills.
And they know he's still in that corner because they can see the orb from the tether. That's one of the kind of underrated parts of the Seas. The information ability for it. When you see it spotted on out, you can see the tethers and, well, nothing really left. in this one for Luminosity, and back to my point, it can be helpful to clear 50-50 angles, because if it tethers someone, you can see if they're on the left or right side, or see exactly where they are. It's kind of nice to add on top of the already excellent kit from Fade and the already excellent stuff you can get done with that season. It was just the eco for LG. Money is back for them. Operator is back for B-Dog. I'm really hoping he can get something done early, but thus far OpTic's use of the Prowlers, of the flashes in the early rounds, means there's never really a clean opportunity to get a shot off.
Yeah, they're not fighting. Exactly that. They're just using that information utility early on in this round to try to get some of those long angles that typically an op would be at. And it works out just fine. Look at all of that pressure over in mid side too. They use that Astra pull, or at least the short version of the Nebula, to potentially get some space over in that mid side, or to at least establish LG back over in the mid side. But here comes at least a Hunter's Fury back over towards B, but it's not going to be coupled up with the take.
TPing away. Has to cancel on that one, and yay. Cautious of anyone walking on up towards the spawn side. Double shock dart. That should get rid of the alarm bot in mid. Falls a little bit short. Now, what's interesting, in this patch, Sova no longer makes the double shock bounce voice line, so you don't know if you hit it or not. Either way, a bit of a change that I don't know if we mentioned just yet, so...
No, we haven't.
One is interesting. Mata, good angle here. If the smoke fades at the right time, he could be on for a big play.
Mata, tight angle, but looking for one actually on Cat. It was Marv that ends up sliding into his crosshairs and takes him down. Two players sitting in the middle of garden here, but Victor, he just slides on by. Just about 80 HP. Dazzle does take down Marv. Crossfire is set up here for Cats. Post-plant utility is ready. Victor still hasn't used his ulti. And he uses it right before the lockdown could go down.
Yeah, great delay.
But now they still need to maintain this control. 3 players looking to maintain this position to potentially get that lockdown down. Still 3 players, 3v3 in the middle of Cats, and it ends up working out for LG. OpTic works so hard to try to take that position, but it just doesn't work. Moose doesn't use the lockdown. They're just confiding in the fact that it's a 1v3, but here comes Ye. Ye takes a 1, make it a second. Can he take down B-Dog? B-Dog in the middle of the smoke. He pulls out the headhunter. B-Dog still defusing, but he wide swings with the upshot, and the defuse is all his.
Oh yeah, sharp, but B-Dog just a little bit sharper. Buys his time, holds his nerve, swings through with an operator of all things, and takes down Ye. Hey, what a play. To be able to hold that one through, an absolute necessity for Luminosity. It started so rough for them. They're able to get that kill, they're able to recontrol space in towards the tree room, but time was so limited, not having that lockdown is a possibility. Would have almost lost them that round.
I mean, brave too to even go out for that second peek. But man, oh man, the rest of that round's is looking actually pretty good for OpTic. The moves back over in B and mid. They're keeping LG collected in those positions, but instead now we're back to the same pressure, except with a bit more control. We get that chamber up over in B main and a lot more movement back over in mid.
Onto's positioned here to spot anyone out that's going towards the lane. Oftentimes we'll see this combined with an Odin to try and anti-spam the Sova that's playing there. In this round, no one's set up for that. Goes in B. Moose will get spotted by it as a reaction. He pops down his Killjoy ultimate, but OpTic just want to push it.
Oh. Yeah, Moose still holding it down. He ends up getting 2 off of that, and the lockdown is going to stick
4
around
seconds.
until potentially FNS comes around. But no, the lockdown is going to stay down, and it actually detains someone. Detains potentially FNS, and indeed it was. FNS was caught in the middle of short when that lockdown ended up going down. Still a 2v4 though. Ultis here. Low on util for both of these players from OpTic. It's just raw swings here from both of these players. It's so tough to really find any of these angles because Dazzle's not peeking. Moose is not peeking. Moose finally peeks out, but FNS just gets caught so awkwardly. 3 kills from Moose so far in the round. He might be looking to already reload that lockdown. Already 4 ult points in the same round that he ends up using it. What a big round.
Yeah, when I see teams fighting against that lockdown, I almost think about it like a passenger plane trying to take off. For planes, there's a certain point that's your decision speed that you either keep on going, no matter if you have issues, you have to take off, or if you're below that, you can cancel no matter what the issue is. It's similar to the lockdown. Once it gets past about 7 seconds, you have to have made your decision by now. Are you going or are you stopping? OpTic got stuck in the middle. They tried to cancel when it was just too late, so a player gets detained, the time works against them, and it's just great work to hold down there from Moose. Big rounds for Luminosity. The timeout will come from OpTic.
Yeah, I mean, just to wrap it back to your point, yeah, I also wouldn't want to bail.
Anyone
at,
airplane?
Like, it doesn't matter where I'm trying to bail, either whether it is a fast take or, of course, a couple thousand miles per hour. I wouldn't want to be stopping at any of those points. But OpTic,
1,000 miles per hour? What kind of planes are you flying in, Gus?
I don't know, giga planes at this point.
A
I don't know.
giga plane. All right.
I don't know how planes. Wait, no, you're the plane person. How fast do planes go?
I don't know, pretty fast. Something along those lines. Just about as fast as the takes have been for OpTic thus far.
Thanks.
They'll reconsider how they want to set things back on up here, as the buy will stick with them, but not really any big ultimates to make this one work. Thus far, Operator is still up. For B-Dog, he's been finding a lot more value in these last few rounds with it.
It's going to be a lot more aggressive of a mid take, though. It's going to be a very early recon bolt, but at a good time, too. Look at how many players from LG are trying to play this.
Yeah, dart in from mid. Won't spot anyone out. The dog goes deep in towards main. OpTic's reaction is to continue to push people deep in towards mid, but despite a well-placed fragment, Tig will stay safe in pizza.
They know that there was a corner where someone could potentially go back into, so they're still very wary of that pizza position. That smoke just clears out all of that information. OpTic, they have Marv's here, though. Marv's was here last round, and they still don't clear him out. Tig goes down in a heap, but Marv still needs to escape, and he goes down to Moose. That's a massive kill for Moose. B-Dog, though, stuck out in the open. But there goes the Sky, but doesn't get the frag. Yay over, and Cat is posted up, and at least takes down B-Dog. Mata goes out, but immediately gets traded. Well done by OpTic.
I won't reveal anything, and Crashies will get the plant down here. FNS, they're faking this one out. Door closes. Dazzle, does he hear this? Yes, now danger for FNS. He'll still get the frag. Now a 1v1. With utility in hand, he'll die, but time has been bought. He's just been spotted. He'll look to wrap back towards heaven, but OpTic playing this one together. Both players in hell.
Moose, we're killing. He gets that ulti, but I don't think it's even going to be worthwhile. Out that turret behind him, but no one's even going for that flank. Both of these players under heaven. They do not have a plan for this. Moose has to somehow try to find both. He finds Crashies there, but I wouldn't think that he would be able to find Ye after that. So OpTic, they take a safe 6th round.
Yeah, that they do. 6-4. This is so good. And I mean, you look at this and you think OpTic is doing so well, but I would debate this composition is even better on defense. They have so much utility to stall. Their retakes are going to be insane. We saw that out of Ghost Gaming. So these last couple rounds are really critical for LG to be able to rally. Their opening ideas are generally good. Shutting down space, that aim push, fairly effective, but OpTic's adaptations, their mid-round calls are continuing to outpace. Another lockdown, though, has been earned by Moose, so they can afford to give a little bit more space. Fight with that for retake. B-Dog has positioned himself in wine, but again, no one contesting early towards A. It's OpTic. Back to this default. Take space in mid, walk a player up, force a reaction.
Not only that, but a shock dart taking down that alarm bot over in mid. So much util being used by OpTic over in that mid side. It's like they're actually trying to maintain that bottom mid position if they're actually committing to it. And indeed they are. Marv's gonna go up with his Nebula. Gotta watch out for this angle, though. Yay, such an important shot here over in Garden. Can't nail the shot onto Mata, and Mata instead actually slaps down onto his teammate. Yay, 39 HP. Somehow needs to make his way out. He's not using the rendezvous just yet. He's actually forced to call his teammate with the spike right next to him for help to try to get away. But they do get away. Just about 45 seconds left in the round.
Marv has a really good angle here. If rotates can be pulled back through mid, have a punish. Really tough to clear this one out. You're forced to hard peek in and out. That lockdown activated. Marv tries to make a play, but can't best Dazzle, so now that timer ticking. Big player loss for OpTic. Their only choice here is really to recommit in towards B, but time working against them. 2 players anchoring. There's a case to be made to just save here, but if they kill Tig, they can go for it, and Tig tucks in close as Crashies check it.
So close. Crashies just going through. Will anyone clear logs? Will anyone clear this position? Tig! He doesn't even spot the person in front of him over in short, but eventually he will, and indeed he does. Crashies coming out from the right side, though, and he has the spike in a perfect position. The only position where he could potentially get that plant after the kill, and indeed he's going to be able to do so. 2v4 now, and Ye somehow trying to make his way out of this smoke. Ye actually trades position with someone, and I think he knows it. The TP goes right behind him. Tig is still trying to push it out, but Ye is in such an awkward position. Oh! He finds the lineup, but only able to find one. Look look at the HP on the last two players. We might have just seen the best play of VCT so far, but instead it's a 5th round for LG.
Oh, God. I don't know if LG know how close that one came. Just slipping away. One more shot out of the headhunter. It could have even been a collateral. Yeah. Phantom Vandal, anything. Would have been one very awkward ending to that round, but LG still hold tight. This was just a game of timings. OpTic was in a position where they felt confident that there wouldn't be players stuck this close. They thought they had a timing. They elected to go dry, and in a way that goes back to punish them. The value that TIG got. Even though it was only one kill, it was keeping Ye contested in main, keeping him trapped in that position.
So here we go. Last round of the half, Luminosity trying to make the most out of this defensive advantage. And very early on, they're going to use this Hunter's Fury back over towards A main. Could have been a little bit more populated, but he's not able to get anything.
Dog waits for the utility. He knows that for OpTic, their default is to apply pressure, then late round walk up in mid, but the timing doesn't work for him. And Victor finds the opener.
Actually, Cosmic Divide going up for that mid take potentially, but Mata actually just strikes down to Marv. Good double push.
Face your fear.
Oh, it's so chaotic here. There goes the paranoia. FNS actually somehow wanted to make his way out, but again, that ulti needed to be capitalized with. Now over in the B site, you only have one here with a whole lot of util.
Reflash in main. Does that give a false sense of security for LG? They're pulling players back off this A site. They suspect something over towards B, and in doing so,
not trusting the setup either.
They've conceded space in the tree room. This might just let OpTic walk into the A site. Nothing to contest. The timing keeps getting weirder. Drone is in spotted. This should call for the rotations back out of Luminosity.
Oh, super early Hunter's Fury, this time coming out from the attacker's side. It's because they got that info, right? Crashies takes down TIG. And Victor, with that control of Heaven, denying anyone from LG, trying to make their way through. They do at least have the Trailblazer try to re-clear that Heaven side. It's good for them to at least slide in. That flash is a little bit short, though. There's two players trying to pop out of Cat. Dazzle, he was actually thinking about something else over towards that mid side, maybe even a flank, but FNS is taking down one. There's one over towards A main that could be able to crossfire, and indeed he does. Crashies takes down Mata. Victor takes down Dazzle. OpTic on top going into the second half. We'll see y'all after the break if OpTic could close it out.
OpTic Gaming flying out ahead as they find themselves a 7-5 lead heading into the second half. They're looking hot to find themselves the first seed out of Group B, but Luminosity's attacking side might still give it a run for the money.
OpTic, such a prevalent comp on that attacking side. So much information in almost any angle on this map that they could try to get. You could almost claim the same on that defensive side, but again, they need that defensive structure to actually work out.
Forward play here towards A. It'll be off the Prowler. Contact can be made. Ye will look to follow that up.
It's going to be an early Prowler to try to get that information, but it's not actually for the information. It's for the positioning meaning.
Two players tucking in towards wine. That's really good in these late rounds. But losing tree control and likely losing the site means that fight in A main comes down to practically the whole round. They actually want to push this deep. Luminosity jockeying for heaven control because they know main is lost.
Oh, that's perfect. It almost completely nullifies the fact that they have wine. It's almost as if they're just in A main. That's perfect. They take Cat, they take Garden. They still have to fight for heaven, though, and indeed they're able to do so. They make their way through, but FNS has it back.
That re-clear towards heaven is perfection, and now it's just one player trapped in on the site, Mata, alone, and he's already down. Great work from Ye. Moose is just too far to be able to do anything here.
Yeah, Moose, he was looking for a flank, and now he's just going to get trapped by all three players over in Cat. What a great round from OpTic there. I mean, Luminosity, they had quite the right idea going in through Cat, though.
Yeah, I think fundamentally they had the right idea. They realized we've lost so much space towards main. We're just going to ignore it, take space towards heaven, but one player just swings through. Marv initially retakes heaven because when the spike was going down, so many players were committed to that possible fight towards main, which OpTic didn't give them. The main players were patient, let the attackers make the move, which allowed that heaven control to be lost and meant that the crunch on site came to fruition.
Going on to the next, we do see LG with all those pistols, of course. Most of the players back over towards A, but they're looking to take away potentially some of that presence back over in B. It's going to be that early turret alongside the Prowlers catching them up. But it is a faster approach back over in A main as they're all detected.
Oh, swing forward. Just this utility is perfect. They pull the crosshair placement with the haunt, and FNS just follows it up so well.
And over in top mid, you do get that double peek. The head under, getting a little bit of damage, but ultimately it's the SMGs on the front lines. Has to clear these up. Again. Oh, nice nade. We're just looking for a cleanup. We're looking for the flawless OpTic. They want to keep their cash good. With Prime Gaming's help, they do get that flawless.
OpTic really potent look here on the bonus round. They're going to give Ye Hero Vandal to work with, and I imagine they'll continue with these forward plays. They just have so much utility for it. With comps like this on the defensive side, it feels like it's just always be crunching. You gotta crunch in towards mid, in towards B main, in towards A main. There's practically always an aggressive play that can be made, and when you have so much utility to clear, you're not taking a high risk, especially when the player normally committing to that is Ye, who can just TP out with the rendezvous.
Tough early contacts for LG. You can see that clearly they're trying to go for him. You had that high setup over in A main. You did have that double peek back over in B main. No one from OpTic fighting.
Look up Catwalk. Trademark is incredibly deep here. It allows the players on the site to play off its contact to gap off of that. They also have this KO top mid who can flash forward. But Victor does concede the space for now. OpTic is comfortable giving this up because they have space towards B main, and they also have a player close A main. They can pinch that area if it becomes necessary. Doing so, though, they have conceded tree room quite a bit. There's an opportunity for someone to walk up there.
It's that push and pull they
as
give
well,
up.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's that push and pull again, though. They give up that mid position. They're trying to take B main to try to compensate for it. But Luminosity, they are going the opposite way as of right now. They're fighting for Cats, but it might just go back over towards B. They're still very spread out throughout this map, with only 35 seconds remaining. They are converging back over towards A, though. Here comes B-Dog on the front side, able to take down Ye, but they don't know where Marv is. Marv Spectre takes down 2, equalizes the round, and Victor's just going for a hero play, and the Spectre does become a hero rifle in the end. A 2v2 now as he gets traded.
Time is limited here, only 15 seconds to get that spike on down, but to be across means Tig will stay safe, and his teammate already here to support, but OpTic want to retake quickly. That Haunt's already in, and the angle under the door! Somehow it works out still! FNS finds one, but Tig quick back on the trade, and now up top it's Crashies taken down. What a clutch for Tig!
You could see Tig! He got absolutely bamboozled by that jump. He thought the Sova ended up landing. He had to readjust on top of the Jenny. What a shot there at the end. He needed that. Again, so many little dramatic scenarios. FNS needing that frag against Moose. Tig swinging like an absolute madman with the Vandal. Ends up getting it, and there you go. We didn't have a flick of the day before. We do have it now. 20 HP remaining, and he wins out the round for his team.
Don't worry, I'll keep them quiet.
Look at like an action movie there. People sliding back and forth under closing doors. Trying to get something to work still. That's not a great round for Luminosity, all things considered. Sure, they win it, but OpTic didn't invest much. It was really just that hero rifle. They'll have guns in towards this one, and Ye will have a headhunter, which is just as effective in his hands.
Oh, Victor! He ends up getting caught, though. He is the one with the Vandal, but he ended up putting out his nade. Now, Ye, he doesn't have a rifle to work with here. It's still that headhunter. Ended up connecting a little bit earlier. Marv needing the cross up here. He's the only one with a rifle to hold down the sight.
He is. He has utility to work with, smoke to play around as well. He just needs to buy time.
Oh, great ulti coming in. How can Marv play around this? Smoke up, and the one-way for B-Dog doesn't end up becoming a one-way. Marv just walks through, and he ends up getting 2 for it. 2 more players remaining, make it only 1. Moose trying to sneak his way through, but he's marked. They know exactly where he is, and the triple swing essentially goes in. OpTic, they snag back double digits.
Marv is unparalleled as an A-side anchor. I swear, I have seen from week 1 all the way up until now so many clips on Ascent where this guy just pops down a smoke in the middle of sight and just dances. He just walks back and forth. Perfect rhythm to the steps, and it's kill after kill. Great work out of the Astra. That's a crippling one for LG to lose. OpTic looking primed for an 11th round here. Getting B-Dog the Blade Storm feels like maybe the only savior in this round.
Feels like it, but again, before, he had Marv on this map playing, I mean, he was playing Omen, and even then,
Yeah, to start.
he had so many.
I mean, this is like the
That
3rd
Anchor moment's
iteration
at.
of a comp here for OpTic.
Right.
They keep changing it. That's what makes this team so good. What keeps them relevant. They're always looking for something new. Really tough team to prep against.
And even if it's not meta-specific, it's against the teams that they're playing. And LG, again, coming up just a bit short with a couple of their answers in terms of these takes. But in we go actually with a round. Mata mid-air takes down FNS in terms of the jump peak. But again, it is only the Sheriff so far. He might be able to take up a rifle right through the smoke, but it's a bit of an awkward spot for him. Crashy's using an owl drone to try to re-clear B main, and he's going to see that Spike isn't there.
Jump peaks, Dazzleman spotted. They're going to go for the hunt, but what? Tick was behind them. The classic just tapping away at range.
It works out. Now it's a 3v2. How is OpTic down to 2?
Oh, this gets tough now. He's rotating back on over, and I think he has the timing on this one. I'll post it towards Heaven. He hears the TP coming through, wants to take this duel, knows that's a spike carrier. Paranoia misses, but Ye can't commit to this wide angle, and he gets punished for his position as well.
1 HP. He was barely able to make it out, and Moose's turret is gonna find Crashies. He lands down at the perfect moment, though. He can isolate potentially 1v1, but LG has his angle. You see the word at the top of your screen. It's a thrifty round right when LG needed it.
Perfectly timed. Great, Sheriff starts to start things off here. What a shot from Mata. FNS just deleted from the server, and then we reroute towards top mid, and Tig was just sitting here waiting all along. It was a pretty fundamentally good play, but just one angle left unchecked. Timing not working out, and round stolen away from OpTic. LG now very much back in the map, but looks like a forward play here. Haunt will go deep. That's going to land top right. Pretty tough to break. Astro Utility to combine. A player, I believe, was spotted off of it.
Prowler going in, and it is going to be multiple players from OpTic. 3 players trying to go in for that swing. 2 players go down here, and they even get that B main pressure going.
What is it?
All 5 players from OpTic done and dusted within seconds. That's a pretty nice Prime Gaming flawless.
Yeah, for OpTic now, I wouldn't even hate to see a tactical timeout. Slow things down. Couple of these tough rounds slipping away. The aggression not quite working out for them. Now 2 rounds in a row. Obviously, it was just an eco here, but Luminosity has done really well at just being patient, playing their space, and finding some nasty timings for Tig in particular towards the late round. OpTic, though, they do want to go straight back into things here. Rifles for 4, Tour de Force for Ye. He's going to play out towards mid. It's a good shout. Denying space in mid has been a bit of an issue for OpTic in quite a few of these rounds. It's been the leverage. Allows you to rotate back on over. I think so many rounds for late tree hits towards that A side have been good for Luminosity.
Again, LG, they aren't going to maintain more or less just one side of the map throughout this round. We shouldn't see too much of that spread back towards mid. But again, OpTic, it's not like they have information back over towards that position either. It's just Ye holding on for now. Great Prowler timing, though. Does at least catch that they have 1.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good setup there from OpTic. They have the Haunt in combination with the Seize to trap a player in that close angle. But unfortunately, with this composition, no raise. You have nothing to combine off that. If you have a nade or something like that, even the KO playing on this site with the fragment, I found a lot of value, but instead it is just the information. Now the hit will come forth from LG.
So it has to be coupled up with a big wide swing from Canada. Ends up working out. 3 players all behind smokes. OpTic, they're getting the kills they need, but not exactly the last one they wanted. Mata, he does pop out and he ends up taking down 2. Marv, the big position here, and he does equate it into 1, and the trades work out in OpTic's favor, and 11th goes back their way.
Really proactive round there from OpTic. They just choose to fight front sight, give time for their team to rotate on over. Very nice out of Ye and FNS, and it's kind of the tragedy of the Tour de Force. Such a good weapon, but if you're playing close quarters with a teammate, you can just utterly grief them. In this one, Ye gets a frag, slow field goes up, and FNS is just standing out in the open. Ends up dying to Mata as a result still. There was enough time bought, so the rotates on in were great to be able to close this round. LG, though, oh, what a tap from Victor to close that one. LG, off of that, will take the timeout. This is their pivotal round. Money's going to be on the brink. They lose this OpTic up to series point.
I would just call it the last round of the game, essentially. Luminosity. They have none of that cash. They would force up so hard. Of course, they could still try, but their chances are so done. They end up losing out this next one. So are we actually going to see a bit of a change in terms of that structure? Because we've seen Luminosity go for a whole lot of splits. Not too many of those defaults, though. Not too much. But that early map control, actually just trying to chip away at that defensive OpTic.
Merci.
I think the lack of that early fight for map control has been good, because that's what OpTic excels at. It's these Prowler early round hits. They're less focused on instantly, rushing an opening gambit, similar to what OpTic oftentimes does on their attacking sides, and instead they're just fine to play back, contain aggression, and then kind of just reply. Putting out one fire at a time, being very methodical in doing so. But in that also, when OpTic doesn't give that space away, things get a little problematic. Like in this round, OpTic doesn't give anything early. They stay slow. They are instead with a deep setup towards mid. Means info is a bit lacking for LG, and is on an angle here, yet to be cleared. FNS is well for support. He can break the dog. Yay. Can repost on the angle off of that.
Yeah, FNS is just going to be here to try to feint out the fact that he's the only one in this type of position. But look at this lockdown, Mimi. Are they actually going to try to coop this up with a B take?
He's still on this angle. He has Rendezvous to get out, and he needs a kill. Will grab it, TP's
That's
out,
huge.
and FNS as well. The support spike is on the floor. B-Dog will keep fighting though.
Oh, it's just going to be the Haldron to actually spot the spike, though, so they can actually
Collateral
hold on
tag.
to it. Wait, was that a double ping from
Yep.
the Haldron? Nice.
Yeah.
Well done, little guy. Yay, on the other side, looking for the cross-up, looking for Mata, and now it's only one in a 1v4. Cosmic Divide in his way, not able to make any noise, but Crashies pops up from behind. 12-8 going towards the side of OpTic, looking for one more round against a scrappy little buy here for some of these players. If they don't redistribute, how is it? How is it going to go down? Dazzle's low, but they finally find at least a rifle for him. So they do actually find rifles down the board, Mimi.
Yeah, he's El Diablo. He's this big, scary guy, but he's like the most patient, like kindest demon out there. He'll just sit in a corner, wait for his opportunity, wait for his turn, and then take the shot. That patience is key in that round. If Ye TP's early, he gets stuck in that lockdown there at a tough situation where then the mid is completely lost, but he doesn't. Ye's performance this series has been excellent, making up for any misgivings last week, and even when it was a bad performance for Ye, it was still great for practically anyone else.
Early shotgun going through, but it's very, very deep. Moose is just looking for a dry peek. 1v1 against Crashies, and that clears up a whole lot of space. There's nobody else here on B.
Again, there's a player tucked in this close corner. Tig got big value in this position before, and here we go again. Tig for one, but Ye, so sharp on that shot.
Yeah, massive smoke covers it up, and FNS comes in at the exact same time too. That mid play does end up leaving just a whole gray area here for OpTic, or excuse me, for LG. Don't have any control of that, don't have any eyes on that. Could easily be getting flanked on here from B main, but it's only these two players here still trying to come out.
FNS's close corner could be everything. If they don't clear it, he could go big. I'll tuck close to the smoke yet
Oh,
again.
it's huge.
Another flash
No more
steal from
stars. No more stars here for OpTic. That was the very last one. This push has to happen now, and indeed, it is going to happen. LG, they have all their players. Out goes the flash. It's going to go right through mid. FNS is only able to get one. Crashies, his position was already well known beforehand, and he's still able to get one. Two more players remaining. The ping, it does actually tempt Crashies a little bit there to try to get a shot in, but Crashies, or excuse me, Dazzle, just making his way through that right side. Moose with a big kill, but Crashies takes down Dazzle. One more player remaining, and Moose goes down in a heap. OpTic get the win they need to take the first seed.
OpTic now only 2 series away from qualification to running things back at International Masters events, this time in Copenhagen. For the other side, though, Luminosity, they kept this game close. Despite losing that in 2-0 fashion, the round diff was pretty good for them. So I think there might be a possibility they could